Today we're going to talk about the new Ryan Murphy Netflix series, Hollywood. So let's get started. Hey everybody, my name is Justin. I love to watch movies. If you guys love to watch movies too and Netflix, you guys are in the right spot. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up and coming videos. Today we're talking about the new Ryan Murphy Netflix series, Hollywood. Ryan Murphy is a big name in Hollywood. He has created shows like Glee and American Horror Story. So he's well known to television. He always makes his shows look really great. He always has a large cast. He puts a lot of effort into his shows. And Hollywood isn't any different. In post-World War II Hollywood, aspiring actors and filmmakers will do almost anything to make their showbiz dream come true. Much like Glee and American Horror Story, Hollywood has such a big cast. Actors and actresses like David Corenswet, Darren Criss, Joe Mantello, Dylan McDermott, Samara Weaving, Jim Parsons, Maud Apatow, and Jeremy Pope are in this show. This is a 7-episode series, and the first couple episodes take a little bit time to get started. I like the look of this show immediately, and the sounds and just the overall visuals and how the show is created. We'll talk more about that later. Everybody from writers to directors, from actors and actresses are trying to get their name in Hollywood. There are aspiring filmmakers and actors and actresses, and they are trying to climb the ladder of success. And the first couple episodes kind of show how they got there and how they started making this film that is very controversial. So we have these people maybe are doing some prostitution and are willing to do anything to get a screen test and get their name out there. The first couple episodes kind of take its time to show where they ended up and how they got into this production for this movie. And some people may immediately be put off by what is shown in the first couple episodes. It doesn't shy away from the fact that some people will just do anything to get involved with Hollywood. And although Hollywood and Ryan Murphy really capture that tone and that aspect of people trying to be really motivated to get into a movie, it sure will scratch some heads and question some people, and maybe some people will eventually want to turn it off after the first couple episodes. But if you stick with the show, the 7-episode series, it really is a good show. I think the show, after the first couple episodes, really started to pick up, and once we got into this production of the movie, which is really controversial in this fictional story, is that it was going to have a black writer and a black actress, and a lot of theaters were not willing to show that movie. These people just wanted a chance to shine, for them to write a story and get their name out there and tell their own story and be on screen and do a role much bigger than people have done before. And this story and this message is really relevant to today and Hollywood and the Oscars. And we're moving forward with how films are being presented and created. So even though that this story came out years before after World War II, it's still really relevant today. The message is very clear and it's handled well throughout the series. The acting in here is really good. A lot of people are in here, and I liked everybody in their role. One person that really stood out, and the show does a good job of kind of showing you one side of the character, and then as the series goes along, you get to know them just a little bit more, and you may or may not like them. And one of them that really took off and really surprised me was Jim Parsons from The Big Bang Theory. He is a person that really speaks his mind, really vulgar at times, and you just ended up not liking the character. Jim Parsons did a really good job. It's probably one of my favorite things that Jim Parsons has done. I have not watched The Big Bang Theory, and so I can't kind of compare it to that, but he was really good in the show. And one character that was a side character was Maud Apatow. She played the wife of Jack Costello, who was trying to get into an audition. She didn't have a big role in the show, but I've seen her for many years since she is on Judd Apatow's films. And so it's cool to see her kind of grow up. I just watched Knocked Up the other day, so seeing her in that movie and then in this series, it's a big difference. We pretty much have like 4 main characters. We have Jack, who is working at a gas station, doing some other things at the gas station, but he really wants to get a screen test. And then we have this writer, Archie, played by Jeremy Pope, who has this story called Peg. And people really like this script, but they're not willing to adapt it because he is black. And then we have Camille, who is married to Darren Criss's character. He's a director, she is an actress, and he is directing the story that is written by Archie. And so seeing them kind of navigate through Hollywood and get their name out there and get this production started is really fun. And the behind the scenes of the movie is interesting, and how it's perceived and trying to get it into theaters. It's all an interesting story. I like watching behind the scenes for movies and films and the history behind it as well. So I really enjoyed that aspect of the series, and how production was halted at times, and the filmmaking part of it as well, I think looked really good. The visuals for this show and the way that it looks is stunning. One thing you can say about Ryan Murphy, even if you don't like certain shows, is that he puts a lot of effort into creating a good-looking show. American Horror Story, Glee, those are great shows. This show, the way that it looks, is beautiful. It feels like a series coming out of that era. The cars, the costume designs, the hair, the sounds, everything just feels like it came out of post-World War II. I would have liked a little more exploration of certain locations with Hollywood. It seemed to be a little bit centered on just a couple different locations. I would have liked to see maybe different things and them exploring more part of the town. Maybe a couple more episodes would have been good. Hollywood is a really good show. It starts off really slow, and some people may be put off by the first couple episodes with some prostitution going on, but the way that they handled the characters and developed them throughout the series, they gave them a heart. They gave them a reason to be there. You felt their motivation and their desire to make this film. Some characters you didn't really like in the beginning, but you got to know them and know their intention, like Samara Weaving. You ended up really liking some of these characters and their journey and feeling connected with the characters. It's a show that has some really good progression for its characters and its story, and you're invested in the show. And I wouldn't mind seeing this fictional movie that they made. It seemed really interesting. Part of the show is based on real events and real characters, and part of it's also told in a different way, and you have fictional characters as well. So it blends that all nicely. There's names that you would recognize. They mention Hitchcock in here as well. There's certain names that you will hear that you know, but a lot of these characters are made up. Hollywood is a show that you need to check out. It's got a great progression. I'm going to go ahead and give Hollywood an A-. Thank you guys for checking my review for Hollywood, and stay tuned for more up-and-coming Netflix content. My name is Just Watch Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.